What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Part of the Problem. I am comedian... Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. For some reason, I thought I was hosting Dave Smith's podcast. Okay, from the top, we got this. What's up with the fucker? Okay, no, I'm not getting this right. Who am I? Remember. Look deep inside. Hello, my name is Kyle Roderick Ridley, and I am bad at my job, just lost my keep fob, and have a very cute dog. Where is he? Hey, boy, come here. Hey, come here. He's a Dalmatian. He hates my guts. He's such a little bitch. He has such a bad attitude, but he's going to come here because I have food. Come here. Yeah, come on. Up. Wait, no. Okay, he has a bed underneath my mattress, underneath a bed, and he's a den dog, and he won't come out. He won't come out. He goes in and he won't come out. Come here. Come on. Okay. We'll see him later. He's so cute. Look at my Instagram. Anyway, here I am recording in my studio apartment, 643 on Thursday. I broke a mason jar last week, putting my apartment back together after recording the episode. I've been stepping on glass all fucking week. I swear to God, tenants 50 years from now in this apartment are going to step on the glass I broke with a false move. I was moving the lights around, and there's so many lights. My eyes. God. Hey, dog, come here. Come on. Okay. This I'm not gonna play games with this Dalmatian. He and I are having issues. Okay, the bed underneath the bed is, I don't know if he can't fucking handle the mind bend, but he's a real jerk. Maybe the dog has been stepping on glass all this week, but no, he's invulnerable. He's a Dalmatian. All right, he eats the glass. It makes him stronger. All right, I am having such a problem with him. Food is my only weapon, and it doesn't even work. Man, I can't do anything with him. He does not respond well when I kick the shit out of him. So weird. What an odd animal. Right on. Well, thank you to everybody listening, and thank you, the new viewers. Who are you? Who in the hell do you think you are? Email rosecoloredclassist@gmail.com and tell me about it. I'm sure you're so odd. And I believe in empowering people, okay? And if you think you're not good at talking, listen to me. You are listening to me. We can do it. I bought a dongle. Let's do a phone call. Let's do a hot phone call. You won't have to appear on camera. I mean, I barely do. Who am I? Oh, ugh. I would do so better on Spotify. I've been saying that. I'm waiting for the Late Show staff to hit me up and we can talk about it. Get me on. No, it's hilarious. I would love to talk to you guys. I would love to talk to the audience. I truly am at my best when I talk to others. No, it's hilarious. My true talent is communicating with other people. Yet here I am alone. Doing a podcast in front of no one. I have done hundreds of hours of man on the street interviews, okay? I've done thousands of hours on stage as a stand-up, probably just 1,000. It's hard to get stage time in Los Angeles. I mean, seriously, come on. I mean, did you guys even listen to the phone call I did on episode 52? It was intolerable. No, it was just a production value that had a problem. But as the viewership goes up, so will my production value. So please, baby, I'll get it together. Baby. All right, I'll be the podcaster you need me to be. Please don't go. New viewer, please don't go. Please, I'm begging. Yeah, man. I'm really surprised at getting more than 100 views. It's, I'm a stand-up comic. I feel like 100 people's a lot. 100 people's a lot. All right. Average duration, let's not talk about it. But I do want to say I figured out what went so right, what's been going on so wrong. And all I had to do to get this podcast to grow was post other people's podcasts. It's so simple. All right? I have a podcast. Put on other people's podcasts. Podcast on podcasts. You gotta put all the podcasts on each other's podcast, all right? Feed the beast. Feed the beast, baby. Only getting bigger. The podcasting is only getting bigger, all right? And fucking big fuck small, baby. We're in it. No, podcasting. We are the snake who eats his own tail. And we just keep growing tail. We are the culture. We are the ecosystem. Yep. And I am, with my 100+ viewers, I'm a very, very small, pathetically small, tiny part of the community. Which community? The far-right podcasting community. I'm sure that's the genre I'm in. I don't know. My point is, I didn't post any copyright on my last podcast, and it did marginal. All right, it did marginally better within my own market. Okay, and it does suck that usually what I think like the best part of my podcast are when I play copyrighted material. That sucks for me, but I'm gonna forgo that. I'm gonna forgo what I enjoy and just play other people's podcasts for the rest of my life. We'll have enough. We'll have enough. Okay. Yeah, sick in the head, man. I'll do anything. Really, it's about getting clips. It's about getting the podcast clips. Just to fucking gotta get in the game. All right. I post copyright stuff. All right. How am I gonna gain from that financially? Really, copyright law. Who's it for? It's not for me. I don't even get to have copyright law. I'm in a new age of technology. I've hit my business stride when it all went away. And am I going to rest on this for a second? I do kind of want to talk about copyright law. It's an interesting thing that was established. But obviously it was established in a time where distribution had a much different method, okay? Physical copies, only a limited amount of airwaves. And I understand, but, I think as time moved forward, as information became, more easily accessible, copyright law ended up being a sort of like a bar to information, right? Like, I said this, when the Bill Hicks clip a couple, weeks ago was copyrighted, that, the information that Bill Hicks was sharing in that bit is fucking powerful, fucking awesome. And, the only thing that stopped it was copyright law. And what, you want his mom to get paid? His mom's family? Or he didn't even like those people. Come on. Who owns Mitch Hedberg's library? This is a question, When all our great artists die, with copyright law, I mean, is it the people who, were related to that person? It feels like it's all of ours, right? They were sharing all this art for us. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is nice. It is the podcasting community is nice. All right, moving away from copyright law, I think is nice. I mean, a lot of less jobs for lawyers, but maybe also nice. Okay, I think at least if anything, I'm sure some people get around the copyright law and can figure it out 4 seconds at a time, right? 4 seconds. Thank you, algorithm. But I think it's a good thing that if people who have podcasts put on each other's podcasts, because we're finally talking to each other, right? Because before, when all this law was super stringent and the newspapers and the funnels and people would buy the rights to certain stories, I mean, a lot of the time it just felt like whatever corporate moneyed overlord, whatever newspaper they owned, those guys with the means of production. Whatever stories they wanted, like they would be the the ones talking to us. But now we talk to each other via these little methods. We all have our own little means to production, right? And I am mean to production. Okay, I am a downright asshole. God forbid one of the 199 Late Show union member employees come to work for me eventually. No, I have multiple means to the production. We're gonna get them. Oh, I'm such a bully. Yeah, I don't want to bully anybody. I mean, sometimes it does feel like what's happening on these podcasts, right? Just content creators, content commentators, we're all acting as both creating and commenting, and we're highlighting the news, we're highlighting the clips, take the information, take the clip and highlight it and highlight it and highlight, and we're a fucking rainbow of all the colors. We're blocking out the sun with our highlights, just fucking yellow, blue, red, pink, green. The page is pretty wet with all the highlighting, to be honest. But, as we highlight other people's podcasts, it just gets bigger and bigger. And if we're going to blow up anybody's word, why does it have to be, some fucking Guy with the money making the fucking production. Who owns the paper? Who owns everything? I'm tapped in. I'm in the zeitgeist. I got 100 viewers on my last podcast. I know it's viral. All right? I'm in the conversation. I really am. I made the mistake of thinking I was Dave Smith up top because last week I chose a clip that they also chose and who everyone else chose, the Maron clip. Anyone see that video of Mark Maron talking? There's this YouTube channel called Jokes World, and they're always posting YouTube shorts of Kill Tony. And he's really into the comedy news world, and he's posting it. And I've seen a ton of other podcasts I never even heard about. These guys with 453K viewers, and they're putting on the clip. And I feel really proud of myself, okay? Because I watched everything. All right, I watched Jimmy Dore talk about it. All right, I watched fucking some other guy. Who do I listen to? I listened to a lot of people talk about this, and I'll say it, I had the best take. Yep, had it, figured it out, was the most poignant, better analysis than everybody. Okay, I'll say it. Yeah, sure, I was a far less engaging listen, all right, a damn near incoherent listen, but I had better points. I had I had it. I was in it. I was rewarded by the market via viewership increase, not duration. The duration is miserable. 2.5 minutes was my average duration. That's not good. Don't even know what it means, really. But I would like to talk a little bit more because, all right, Dave and his buddy Robbie the buddy, Bernie Bernstein, that guy, he way better than Dave, the better part of the duo. Clearly, it's a sad show whenever Dave is by himself. They were talking, and they did mention a point that I wasn't too hard on. All right, I had a better take overall, but they had a point that I did not talk about, and that's why I'm new, and that's why I'm only at 57, and they're at what? Oh my God, thousands and thousands. Basically, the thing I forgot about. All right, if I were to regale you, if I were to, tell you to look back on the last episode, I would tell you that, Mark is talking about, this conflation and political ideology and comedy and censorship versus cultural pushback. And what those two hot libertarians, that's what I meant to say. They mentioned definitely the most important part is that, when these people were being canceled, having their Twitter accounts taken down. Remember when it was Twitter? When they were having their Twitter accounts taken down, which is the specific issue, right? I think a lot of us were dancing around, the actual actions back then that were a problem. This is not even a year ago, really. I think we're not exactly talking about what was happening. People were deplatformed. When we go on with the antagonistic comments and the media swirl, all the people who were under scrutiny, the problem was not like the specific calls to have these people, punished or the feedback. I mean, the problem was, getting them off and shutting them up forever, being taken off the distribution sites. Yeah, that was the problem. And, Mark hasn't really talked about that at all. He hasn't clarified any point. I mean, what has he even said about this controversy he's starting with everybody? Actually, I do have a clip of Mark Maron's response. And then we'll talk a little bit more about the point I missed. But I at least wanted you guys to hear Mark out, right? He's in the swirl. He's being attacked. Let Mark talk. Yeah, give Mark the mic. Here, Maron. Here he is. It's Mark.
I know that a lot of the stuff I've been talking about out there in the world and a lot of the clips from my special have kind of taken off. And between us, I mean, me and you, my audience, I've been talking about this shit for over a decade. And I kind of keep it here with us. And making the rounds at podcasts, it's just, I don't know why, I feel you get to a certain age where zero fucks are given, but also it's like someone's got to fucking say something. And the truth is, like, I don't know that I see myself as a courageous person, because it's hard to put yourself out there like that and then sort of see what happens. It's scary and it's a little overwhelming, but it's not some sort of act of courage in my mind. It's just, I'm just the kind of person that has to speak their mind because I live in it. I live in my mind. I live in the world, and my mind processes that, and then I have to talk about it somewhere with different degrees of aggravation, but certainly in the climate we're in now, I just couldn't help myself. And a lot of times I don't necessarily say exactly what I mean because I just don't want to shoulder the burden of that. But I always get to a point in most situations where I'm going to unload, and if it's not personal or based in spite, then I have to accept it as the way I see things, as a judgment or a piece of criticism or just what I believe. And what gives me the right to do that? Me. Who am I to judge? Me. I mean, who else is there? How diplomatic do you have to fucking be? Yeah, because you're in the same business or you don't want to hurt someone's feelings, yada, yada. And eventually, if it's the right day and I'm sitting behind a mic and it's not mine and, you know, I'm going to pop off, I'm going to pop off. But it's not going to be unconsidered. And, you know, the pushback from people that do not like your point of view, the pushback from, there's a lot of these debate points that, you know, right-wing zombies and reactors use. You know, they use, well, listen to this old guy. Cranky old guy. Listen to the bitter guy. Listen to the cuck.
I don't think Mark heard what I said about his controversy. I don't think my take reached Mark Maron's ears. Weird. No, it's honestly surprising because I left a note underneath Mark's favorite table at the Comedy Store in the original room. I left a note right underneath the table, a handwritten link to my last podcast. I even wrote in the timestamps. I wrote the timestamps in the hyperlink. I'm sophisticated. No, this old cuck, really, Mark Maron, I love him so much. I really want everyone here to go listen to Tickets Still Available. It's a comedy album. I think it's like 2003, 2004, 5 or 6. And check it out. I think we'll all be wonderfully surprised about Mark's attitude. Really, no. Again, a bit of a continuation with the vitriol. Who called him a cuck? Jeff Dye. I'm tapped in. I'm so tapped in. Jeff Dye, who I met, and he ignored me. Same thing with Kurt Metzger. Actually, I'm really rejected inside the community. Where's my people? Who's my podcasting community? No. Right. I mean, he's just sort of explaining himself. Isn't that wonderful? Love when Mark does that. But not talking about the issues he brought up and the things people actually said about what he brought up. He's saying he's, has all the authority to bring it up. But what is up? What is it? Yes, that thing. I started talking about it. I can't even run over myself. I'm going so fast. The point that I missed up. All right. The point that I heard from Dave and Robbie the Fire. So funny. Robbie the Funny. Funnier. The thing they pointed out that I did not encapsulate is the government. Right? Yes, the government were the ones suggesting people get canceled and people get canned. All right. The government were sending messages. All right. They were fucking reaching out, talking to Zucky Zuck, talking to Jackie Dorsey. Remember that guy? Where's he? Yeah, they were talking to them, telling them to stop certain words, suppress certain ideologies, thoughts, ideas, information, really misinformation, and mal, right? And when the government did that, which has been proven, all right, sometimes at some points it felt like, when the cultural pushback was happening, when people were creating the biggest stink, when it happened, it was on issues the government seemed to be on the same side of. All right, and that's the point I missed. Okay, so please go listen to Part of the Problem. Get out of here. Get out of here, buddy. Get out of here. You don't belong. There's so much content for you to listen to out there. Why stay here? You're a new viewer. Right on. Okay. Yeah, the last clip of this show tonight is Alex Jones, who is the example of this type of person we're talking about, who got canned, taken off, shut up. All right? And he's the example of this, and he's also right about everything. I do want to make that clear. All right? Especially Sandy Hook. He nailed that one. Nothing wrong about this man. He's always been right. Always been right. Always been right. But, again, no. The government, all right? The governments around the world, okay, along with their friends and family in the private sector, you know, Alex Jones will say this, they are on a clear path to owning and controlling the whole of humanity. And, you know, while the internet is sometimes helpful in stopping this, it's also like, a government creation, okay? It has the ability to, reach across the fucking stars in some odd dimension. It's here. It's tiny. All right. And, with that ability, if you were to silence certain voices, you can curate. You can control people's perceptions and ideas. And that is a huge, huge problem. Okay. So even if you say something like, oh, it was cultural pushback, I mean, the cultural pushback, who's funding it? All right. Who's actually supporting it? What is the end result of it? And, a lot of this happens in the past. They looked at it. We decided it's not looking great. Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, look, we've realized at this point, if anything you hear, all right, no matter who it's from, if it serves some government political aim, some corporation's fiscal dream, it's probably a lie. And even if it wasn't a lie, fuck it. Okay. Yeah, the only people you can trust are those with podcasts. Right on. I'll stay in my lane. Okay, I didn't mention the government enough. I'm sorry. All right. I thank God I listen to libertarians. Okay. Yes, this is what you get from the libertarians: reasonable fiscal revolution and fear of the government. I do not talk about how afraid of the government I am. The pure fear. The pure fear. Listen to Part of the Problem. 3 hours a week. Pay for 1 more hour. They'll talk about it. Really, I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to go over the past like this with the color of my glasses. Yeah, but all I need to do is just get Taibbi. All right, I need to go get some Taibbi. Where's Taibbi at? Taibbi. It sounds like a Thai dish. Yeah, where's Matt Taibbi? Come and talk to me, buddy. Get me right. Get me understanding this fucking deal. No, I do. I will. I mean, as a side, I do kind of feel like a pretender whenever I criticize the government. All right. I feel like maybe that's not who I am. I mean, sometimes I see myself working and running the government, which is clearly a problem that the libertarians are going to have to beat out of me. Just to continue talking about other people's podcasts, which is the theme of this episode. I just want to say, all these libertarians talking about Ron Paul's 90th birthday, maybe a little annoying. Okay. I mean, yes, I know he's awesome, but it just seems like, I don't know, a little fanboy shit, a little fucking fanboy shit. I mean, just say, I guess they say they're a supreme fan and they preen, and they're just preening about it. He's so great. I don't know. It just feels like Trekkies on William Shatner's birthday in 1996. Okay, there's just some sort of energy about how they're talking about this little event, like they're really trying to start the lore of their movement. Okay, when fucking Scotty Horny Baby, all right, and Famous Dave, they all talk about Ron Paul's 90th birthday. I mean, I don't know. It's like fucking Comic-Con or something. It's like he's Stan Lee. All right. I don't know. I just, there is something I have to accept when it comes to fandom. Yeah, which I certainly won't understand until I've made it. But there's something about a little cult, a little personality. Like for any movement or any sort of, gosh darn, collective action, it does seem like you need to have a little cult of personality behind it. You just need a guy who perfectly represents the idea that you're talking about. It just, you can theoretically apply all the pillars of the ideology to this guy, and when you do that, the story, it makes sense, it's compelling and exciting, and makes you want to learn more. Okay, you always want to know more about someone, right? There's a lot of mystery is the biggest problem when it comes to other people, right? The mystery of where someone's from and why they act the way they do. I mean, that's the genuine intrigue of humanity, right? I mean, come on. I just maybe mystery can act like it, because it could be anything. But I think whenever you really want to get something going, whenever you want to have some kind of real impact on society, there does seem to be some kind of aspect of unpredictability and uniqueness, and somehow a demonstrable usefulness. There has to be some kind of entity to embody those things in the idea that you're presenting. Does that make sense? All right, I'm trying. I don't know. I just for the future, I think the the big thing for the next generations, for whatever evolution there is. I think everyone needs to start moving towards like unpredictability, right? Some that fucking exciting energy that certain people have when you don't know what they're gonna do, right? Because I think over time, the ways the mind runs has been mapped out, right? The way the human brain analyzes and compels itself to do things. I mean, you could say the government's even funded and experimented a bunch of theories about how we work as people, all that mind control shit. But I do believe that the human brain can evolve. All right, it can grow, ideas can be taught and built upon, and I personally believe that the whole of humanity needs to become more unpredictable and more creative, and get on podcasts. I feel like that would secure our safety. Not to bury the lead, anyway. But right on. Okay, yeah, last clip, Alex Jones. Today, we're doing it. We're talking Jon Stewart. We're talking Israel. We're talking Joe Rogan, okay? We're giving the far-right podcasting community what it needs. I am a far-right podcaster. Am I not? Am I not? Have I not been accused of that yet? Am I not Nick Fuentes? Am I not Nick Fuentes? Look at the camera. Am I him? He's 4 years younger than me. Can you believe that? No, I've been given a chance to defend myself, and I'll take it. Okay, when we talk about these groups, these podcasting groups, whatever Marin is alluding to, and all his controversy, I think that like all social groups on the internet or whatever, it ends up like high school. Okay, I mean it all ends up like high school. Everybody says that. Everyone says everything's high school. Okay, people say Congress is high school. Restaurants are fucking high school. Maybe that is just how social groups form. All right. Some people fit in, others don't. They hang out around, but they're not friends. And, they say the same stuff, but they dress differently. Right. And, there are loose associations. And while they mean something, okay, while all these loose associations between groups, they do mean something at the high school, we will all grow up one day and it won't matter. Okay, we'll all grow up and we'll die in a fire that was started by ourselves because we committed suicide. Reluctantly, at the end of a blade. Okay, yeah, now here's a question. When we come to this podcasting community do I belong in, all right? Now, when I editorialized that last little part, talking about starting a fire or whatever, now would you say that makes me like, am I making some genuine joke off the top of my head? Or am I pretending to say something like Alex Jones and his larger clone, Tim Dillon? Okay, am I doing that so I can aggregate possible listeners? Or am I just trying to be funny in the moment? All right? Really, I think those are both stupid questions because I'm asking them. All right? Things like that are left up to the viewer. All right? If you want to have a question about what I'm doing, or why I'm acting the way I'm acting, you gotta decide for yourself, all right? Even if I were to come out here and espouse legitimate support for whatever particular agenda, Okay. The point is, what do you take from it? All right. You decide everything. All right. And there ain't no one in the world who can tell you what to do or think. All right. So as a new viewer of this podcast, take that lesson with you. Take that with you. Where are you going? Stop leaving. Stop clicking. Fuck. Right on. Okay. This next clip, we're doing it. It's 2 clips. It's Jon Stewart. Now, I think this is super important to mention right now. There's not going to get a more important time to mention it. All right. I've watched it. I was moved. Okay. I was moved. It's about Israel and Palestine. There's Jon Stewart there too. And it sucks. It sucks. I was moved emotionally because, whenever I listen to content, my only goal is to be entertained. I only want to be entertained, not informed, not moved. Okay. But I'm going to give these guys a lot of breath, let them chat it up. Okay. John, he interviews a Palestinian guy. Okay. And, I cut up a few pieces, I listened to the whole thing. It's on the Weekly Show. If you've heard of that, the Weekly Show, what is that? It's a podcast. Far left podcast. They have writers. I'm sure one of the 199 people from the Late Show are going to get hired there too. Let's not worry about them so much, okay? And right on. I would encourage you to listen to the whole thing they do. It's super fucked up. You're going to be emotionally fucked up, all right? And hopefully you get a little kick out of the insanity, because you can't listen to a podcast and not be moderately entertained. It's impossible. So please, Jon Stewart, take it away. The clip explains itself. I don't have to do it.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Jon Stewart. We're doing the Weekly Show podcast. It is Wednesday, August 6th. I'm not going to talk actually too much moving into this because we have a conversation today that I think is, I think it's an important one. I think it's a sobering one, certainly. And so I just kind of want to get into it. I've had conversations over these past many months with Jewish people and Arab people and Palestinian people, but I really wanted to give some time to someone from Gaza, someone whose family is there, who was born there, grew up there. He's an incredible writer, an incredible poet, winner of a Pulitzer for his writing, and I'm just going to introduce him. His name is Mossab Abu Toha.
There is a very, very important level of the genocide that I rarely hear anyone talking about, which is that Israel is wiping out entire families. When a family house is bombed, it means a whole generation is gone. I just want to give you one example that the Western media did not cover. I talked to one of the survivors of a massacre that was carried out in December 2023. And that's called Juha family. Mm-hmm. Around 80 people were killed in that airstrike. But I want to show you who the 80 people were. Mm-hmm. I made a family tree here. John, this is the grandfather. These are his children. They were killed with their wives, and these are their names. They were killed with their children and their grandchildren. Okay? Then the grandfather himself, he had another brother who was already dead, but the grandfather, he died, he wasn't alive. But this brother of the grandfather, he lost 2 sons and their children and the grandchildren here. And that's the last grandfather. So 3 grandparents. These are about 80 people.
Who's crying? Are you crying? Anyone fucking crying right now? Dude, if you're not crying at this moment, you might be a far-right podcaster. Okay. Yeah, very little to explain here. Okay, if you don't get what's going on in this clip, let me bring you back to the visual aid. Look up that visual aid, all right? It's exactly what you're given in Gaza, okay? You get to look at aid, you get to visually see some aid, and then you get shot. Right on. Here I am going with the blood libel right off. I mean, I already played this clip, all right? It's fucking embarrassing. I already know it's over, all right? Bomb me, I'm going to get bombed. Israel is going to bomb me. I am living on Hollywood Boulevard, And I think Beverly Hills is like the same distance that Gaza is from Israel. So I'm totally going to get bombed. Blow up the apartment building. Yeah, I mean, look, if my building goes down on Hollywood Boulevard, it wouldn't be that different from what else is going down in this fucking city. Holy shit. I mean, look, man, just understand. I mean, I hate to bring up Israel and Gaza. I hate to do it. It's obviously not good for the numbers, all right? It's not good for the podcast. It's not good for the far-right podcasting community for me to talk about it, okay? But I'm just saying, like, understand, like, what the fuck is happening here. Like, families are getting bombed, all right? They're getting bombed. Kids just bombed, all right? And getting bombed, horrible way to go. Okay? Horrible. Bombing is horrible. Don't get bombed. Okay, look, if Israel wants to kill the Palestinian people, fine, but you got to do it like Hamas did, all right? You got to get out the scimitars and fucking blow torches and just get in there, all right? Mortal Kombat, go in there, kick the babies in the face, chop, chop, okay? All right, just do whatever you got to do in there. All right, at this point, I don't think Israel is getting enough cathartic vengeance. All right, if this is all about October 7th, obviously they're looking for a little cathartic vengeance. Who wouldn't? I mean, really, at this point, what's left? Just fucking go in the holes and kill everybody in hand-to-hand combat. All right? I think that'll make you feel better. Because the bombing, you just keep doing it, and it's horrible, and what's going to make you happy? What'll make you happy? I know what'll make you happy. Hey, you want to hear my bad take of the week? A bad take of the month, bad take of my life. Here's my take. The Palestinians should leave. All right? Everybody there should just leave already. Okay? I mean, here, for me, look, I like where I grew up. I like California. I have some serious attachments to it. But if people were dropping bombs on it, I probably would leave. I probably already would have left. I would have left before any bombs. Really, I mean, look, guys, Palestinians, it's a genocide. It is. Time to leave. Great time to leave. You know what a genocide is? It's a great time to leave. All right. At this point, you gotta find your own, like, Glendale, Palestinians. You just gotta go somewhere already. All right. Just gotta go somewhere and make it work. Okay. Israel should stop. Israel should stop. They're not gonna stop. Probably time to go. Probably time to go. No, but it's the Holy Land. My family. It has the deed to where we're staying. Okay? No, they don't care. Israel doesn't care. They're gonna kill you. They're gonna kill everybody. No, seriously. Every Palestinian outside of Gaza, outside the West Bank, they should try and get their whole family to live in their studio apartment. They got to take in all of their family, whatever country they're in. They have to do everything they can to get the Palestinians out of where they are and make them live with them or something. I mean, look, Palestinians, just fucking build a boat, okay? Get in the ocean. Try to avoid the mines. You got to leave. Just go up to the IDF. Just go up to the IDF and say, hey, I would like to give up everything I have, what my family has, and I would like to live. Can I leave? And if you're lucky, they'll put you in prison. Just, you got to get out of there. You got to get out of there. All right? It's obvious. They want the land. They want all the land, and they would prefer to kill you. It's time to go. Time to go. Okay, people are getting shot trying to get food. All right? They walk to the aid, and then they get shot. What? All right? And look, if they don't get shot, what happens? They walk back to the rubble, to the tents. What's back there for those guys? They're dead relatives? Oh, I want to bury my family. Just bury your next family. You got to go. You got to, I mean, for you. I'm saying this for the Palestinian people. Okay, that's a great bit, right? No, I'm not joking. Okay, yeah, what do we have at this point? All right, with Israel's doing it, just fucking maniacal bombs from the sky. Okay? It's not, you can't be killing people like this. You can't be killing everybody like this from the heavens. It's terrifying. All right. And if you don't understand the problem with bombing cities, bombing civilians, if there's fucking bad guys there or not. If you don't understand that, then you might be a far-right podcaster. Okay. No, I don't like talking about this. I don't know why I'm doing it. I have to. It's my point in history. I have to do this. I'm sorry. It's absolute bedlam. It's bedlam out there, all right? And, I personally believe bombing, it's way worse than whatever Hamas did, okay? Getting bombed and dying via bombing is so horrifying to me that I honestly would prefer whatever Hamas did on October 7th, okay? I wish I was a baby put in a microwave versus getting bombed, all right? That's my personal opinion. Okay? All right, being kidnapped, being held, all right? But I would prefer that rather than getting bombed by from the sky. That's my own personal opinion, all right? And I believe that because, at least if I'm having like an ongoing process of dying, I have time to repent or rethink my actions, maybe even curse the ones that murdered me. But if I'm bombed out of the sky, it's just, instantly, shamefully, no honor. It just lacks such fucking honor, bombing people from the sky, okay? Not to say that, murdering kids and chopping off the tits of Jewish women has honor. Not to say that. I mean, they fire rockets too. Look, I shouldn't be talking about this. I shouldn't be talking about this. My point is that it's just an untenable situation, and it's impossible for, us to respect any side in this situation. No one's a good guy here. Israel's not a good guy. Everybody in Palestine also not a good guy. Also, just leave. All right? There's no code. There's no code of honor over there. The only code out there is to the fucking bombs, to the targeting computers, the AI algorithms, selecting who lives or dies. I mean, Jesus, guys. Like, how many Israeli citizens and Jewish people have to die? I mean, look, yeah, let's do it. Everything being even, let's bring out the family tree of all the Jewish people that have died in this war. All right, let's bring out the family tree. Let's do it, okay? And when we look at that family tree, you'll realize that some of them are related to the Rothschilds, and then you might start thinking something different. I am not Nick Fuentes. I am not Nick Fuentes. No matter how much the audience pressures me to be. No, what's the solution? I'm so sorry for doing this podcast. It's really crazy. But what is the solution to this? I do have another clip of Jon Stewart and Mr. Poet, Palestinian poet, what it is. And they talk about their own ideas. And I will be honest, again, I did cut this up a little bit. I mean, this the family tree part actually takes place after the conversation that I'm about to show. And even the conversation I'm about to show, it's actually parts of two conversations. I really listen to the content I put out to you guys, the work I do. And if only I had help, email rosecoloredclasses@gmail.com. My new viewers, email me, please help. Okay, here it is. Let's hear the solution. Let's do it.
But it feels like without the international community stepping in to separate two combatants and creating some barrier so that two societies can flourish separately, which seems like the only way to do this at this point. Is there any other way to do this?
Yes, there is one way.
Okay, beautiful.
Which is when the world, not only leaders, but also media people, when they start to care about the security of the Palestinian people, the same way they care about the security of Israel.
Right.
So tell me, why do the Palestinian people not have an army?
Well, I assume it's because Israel does not allow them to have an army, right. So they have kind of a guerrilla kind of outfit.
So who's going to protect the Palestinian people when they are living under occupation? For example, in the West Bank, John, not in Gaza. The Israeli settlers attack Palestinians.
No, Mossab, it's an interesting question. In the West, so here's the question in the West. Doesn't Israel have a right to exist? And doesn't Israel have a right to defend itself? And everybody, yes and yes.
Okay.
But I imagine the exact same question can be applied to, don't the Palestinians have a right to exist? Yes. And don't the Palestinians have a right to defend themselves? Yes.
This is it.
Well, now, okay. Now we're cooking with gas here. So what do you do with that? Then that's just a recipe for incessant conflict. one-sided because one side has very powerful weapons that the United States provides and the other side does not.
Yeah, John, I think what the Palestinian people need immediately is international protection.
That's what I don't understand, Mossad. What happened to international peacekeeping? What happened to just, why is Israel in charge of this? This makes no sense to me. This is the one thing that I just can't wrap my head around. Get an international...
Are you suggesting that Israel has more power than in Israel?
Right. I mean, I don't understand.
You're anti-Semite. No,
Yeah,
you
well,
are anti-Semite.
yes, I've been called worse.
The Weekly Show, a comedy podcast, everybody. I thought I was doing a comedy podcast. No, that is a Comedy Central podcast, and it's a riot. Makes you want to riot. Look, lots to go over again, but Jon Stewart, I just want to say, there was a point in this clip where you know he's over it. He knows it's over. He knows whatever he's been doing his whole career, it's probably over. Yeah, he does, what he knows. He came back. He's doing it again. But I really think he's on his second burnout. Okay, he's a smart guy. He navigates it well. But I feel like he could have done without that whole conversation. No, he probably, I felt like when he was in that conversation, he was like, I shouldn't have to bother with this. I should have. No, he cries at the end of this podcast. Where I showed you the family tree, he's crying in there. And, but I think this was the moment that you saw it was not going well. Poor guy. Why does he still appear on the Daily Show? All right, why is he underneath the Weekly Show? Just what's going on? I'm asking myself at this point. I mean, I feel like the people who work for him is not doing him any good. Okay. I mean, what is going on? Why? What's buddy Johnny? I think he can do this. I mean, I really hear people talk bad about him. All right, I really hear people talking mad shit about Mr. Stewart. All right, Jimmy Dore goes after him all day, all night. Breaking Points is mean to him too. It's really sad to me that this guy has lost a lot of respect in the comedy community. Yeah, but look at him putting out content like this. You're not going to get any respect back that way. No, who else could do it? Who else could do it with that opinion? And again, I cut this up because there was about a half hour of him struggling after that first part with the Palestinian army suggestion. Which is a ridiculous proposition. I'm sorry. Okay. Yes. I mean, yes, the next steps for Gaza. What are the next steps? I mean, I think they're going to step on a few things worse than a glass from a mason jar. All right. Yeah, Mr. BB fucking nothing but net and yelling Yahoo. They're going for it. They're saying they're going to occupy Gaza for real this time. They're going to get in that shit. But I mean, yeah, the UN, right? Didn't we do this? Didn't we make a thing one time? Yes, the Palestinian people need protection. Yeah, it is. I think it's just time for the third-party army, right? We created them, the UN, the peacekeeping force. There needs to be an army protecting the Palestinian people who are not all Hamas. They're not all Hamas, okay? They're not all Hamas, all right? The journalists, yes, they are all Hamas, and we know that. Every journalist who's brown is Hamas. I'm talking to you, Trevor Noah. Where is Trevor Noah? Where is Trevor right now? Trevor Noah is at the part of Noah's life where he's drunk in the tent. There's what a poor guy. I feel like he made it like right when it all fell apart. Yeah, Trevor. I'm sorry. But yeah, we need a separate fucking army. I mean, look. I mean, unless we put our own bodies in front of Israel, I don't think they'll stop. All right, it is not looking good for Western culture. Am I saying U.S. boots on the ground? I mean, that would make Israel happy, but that is not. I don't, man. What are we saying here? What was really happening? I'm sure the fucking United Kingdom and the Irish. The Irish would love to come down to Gaza and be a nice peacekeeping force. I think that it could work out. All right, and if the Israelis fucking bomb the Irish, then we all know what it's about, right? If Hamas attacks the Irish, I wonder what Conor McGregor will do. Come on, that's a solution. It would move it forward, and I think that's the point. Okay, I mean, what's even going on here? I mean, let's just be honest, right? Let's be honest. Israel wants the land. They want it to land. They want the land. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with saying that? All right, there's fucking trillions of dollars in natural gas in the sea next to Gaza. All right, you can build a nice hacienda in fucking Syria. What's wrong with saying you want the territory? What's wrong with saying that? I just feel like a more honest approach from everybody would get to a better place. I mean, look what's going on with Ukraine and Russia. All right, Russia's going to get a big piece. Just say you want the piece. Say you want a piece of the land. Okay. I did that old Stalin joke. A piece of this and a piece of that. Fell right into it. Man. I don't know. Someone's got to like just step in front of Israel. Just step in front of it and get shot a few times. Okay? Because this is not looking good for fucking Western goddamn culture. It's just not doing it. Yeah, the Israelis, are they Western culture? Where are they located? Okay, I'm not doing that. No, let's put the German army in Gaza. Let's see how that works out. I don't know, man. It just feels so sad at this point, right? I mean, sure, people are dying, but what's really sad is just how silly Israel looks. I mean, look how bad they're losing the media battle. They're getting made fun of by far-right podcasters. That's not, come on. I've seen some crazy things, and they know they're losing so hard, and I've seen them post crazy things. I actually have this next little thing. It's a few images that I was sponsored. They sponsored some images on my Instagram, and I got to see them. And the Holocaust Museum of Los Angeles was posting some content about Joe Rogan. Guys, what's going on here? Let me show you these images and just have you understand just how totally fucked it all is, and how you and your brother are going to need to move to Gaza and stand in front of tiny Palestinian children and receive armor-piercing rounds from Israeli weaponry.
Let me quickly say that I've been a fan of the Jerry podcast since it first started 10 years ago. Joe's open-mindedness and just genuine curiosity was a breath of fresh air, especially to me as a scientist, but in general as a thinking person. He inspired me to be a better and especially kinder human being. As a wise man once said, train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
All right, the Holocaust Museum of Los Angeles puts a quote by Joe Rogan. The quote is, "The idea that Jewish people are not into money is ridiculous. It's like saying Italians aren't into pizza." Now this is what they're saying. Joe Rogan's podcast reaches more than 24 million listeners each month. Pretty impressive. I made 100 last episode. Okay, yeah. And when Joe Rogan repeats centuries-old anti-Semitic stereotypes, even casually, it reinforces dangerous ideas. When millions hear this, it doesn't sound extreme. It sounds normal. It's not normal. Holocaust Museum of Los Angeles. Well, Joe Rogan has deeply disappointed the Holocaust Museum, and the Holocaust Museum sponsored some ads on Instagram to tell me about it. That's interesting. What is the point? What is the point of doing that? I do not think it fights anti-Semitism. Or tell me you guys don't like money. They're not going to win like this. Why would they do this? I mean, am I going to say something like the Holocaust Museum of Los Angeles wants to take down Joe Rogan because he, talks poorly about the war? And, am I going to say that Israel is somehow connected to the Holocaust Museum of Los Angeles? I mean, that'd be crazy. But whatever's going on, the fact that I am receiving sponsored ads like this is bananas. Okay, I can't handle that. I don't know what you're trying to prove. Are you trying to make Joe a pariah? Trying to make him a pariah? I mean, pariah sounds like the name of an Israeli pop star. What's the point? What are you trying to convince everybody of? I feel like anytime anyone should talk about Israel right now, they probably should talk about the war in Gaza. You want to focus on anti-Semitism? You want to focus on that right now? I don't think you're going to win that one either. Don't think of, I've actually heard the craziest thing. And I'm a far-right podcaster, so I'm going to share it. But, the big conspiracy, and I'm playing Alex Jones after this, so, you're going to get it. But another crazy conspiracy is that Hitler knew what Israel was going to do to the Palestinians, and the whole point of World War II was to stop that, because it's actually a larger plot. All right, I heard that. Who did I hear it from? Nick Fuentes. Sue me for libel. I'm joking. I'm a comedian. What would you know about that, Nick? What would you know about that? I don't know why I was about to say Steve. Now, I guess I do want to talk about this point again, because obviously, we're talking about Mark Maron, and now we're talking about Joe Rogan, and maybe this is part of the thing that's going on, between them. I mean, what are the problems with these types of statements nowadays, especially from comedians? What is the problem is, I think, something that Bill Burr was always talking about, maybe in a different context. But, sometimes jokes can be taken as statements, like they're words on a page or something like that. People try and take your statements or jokes, and they turn them upside down and squeeze meanings out of them that, they didn't necessarily have. I mean, I'm notorious for contextualizing clips. I mean, how much I show too much content all at once. All right. It's been a problem for me and the algorithm. I wonder why. But, I'll give you 3.5 minutes of fucking context just because I maybe think you could understand a little bit more about the conversation if you saw more. I mean, this is JRE. This is the 3 hours that we're talking about. He said that in a 3-hour conversation. And if I remember right, because I think this clip has made a few rounds before, or this statement, it's actually part of a larger conversation about like stereotypes and how, as comedians, when we play into stereotypes, why they work, why they're truthful, what does it mean about the truth, and how do we derive a joke out of it, and it's sort of contradictory. Right? I mean, it's a complicated, stereotypes are complicated, and the fact that you hear them all your life is even more confusing. Okay? I think the point about stereotypes is a lot of the time that even if they're true, it's not, it does not have much value, right? And it doesn't change or prove anything about how, certain people do certain things conveniently. It's just, we all exist in systems, and certain people run the systems, and maybe, the roles in the past, they get to that place because of certain assumptions or stereotypes, but there's a lot going on most of the time. And when you pull something out, maybe it has artistic value. That's what I remember that conversation being. And I have done enough drugs to where I feel like I actually was there at the time. All right? Yeah, it's weird, being a comedian in this technological revolution where you say something and it gets flipped and flopped around. And, with our businesses being, the way they are organized right now, you can get in a lot of trouble. You say a lot of stuff in a lot of different ways, right? I mean, I'm saying it again. You have your hats, and at this moment where the comedians are the fucking cultural Zion, all right? It's confusing. It's confusing. When comedians talk, they embody multiple meanings at the same time, and to try and understand it, I'm so sorry, but you gotta actually be smart. You gotta be smart, and you gotta seriously, try to delineate and categorize, statements from people who have to, embody a lot of contextual existences. I'm making sense. I'm 30. I'm making sense. It is tougher for old people. I will say that, because, we used to live in a world where, your vocation was your identity, right? Everything you did was sort of, based off of what you spent your time doing. Most of who you are was, based off of what you spent your time doing. But with the internet, you're doing everything, but you're doing nothing, and it's complicated, all right? And so, all these, what we thought of as work or being a person, the ideas moving and changing. So, when you hear a statement from a comedian whose role was an interesting one before the digital age, right? It can be hard to figure out, how serious they are, okay? And, we're forced not to be serious, too. I mean, I'll say this, when George Carlin and Richard Pryor were out there, yapping the stone cold truth, okay? The way, people nowadays, expect comedians to do. when they were doing that back in the day, I think they, knew they wouldn't be listened to, right? They said it in a way where you could just flippantly do it without having some sort of, entire political movement on you. It's like you were a comedian. You could say that because you were a comedian, that you weren't supposed to be, taken seriously. And maybe in a way, comedians are like the dog who fucking caught the car, and now we're on our podcast and we're biting the bumper and fucking yapping and our teeth are grinding, and maybe we'll die this way. But it's confusing, all right? And so the Holocaust Museum wants to put up Joe's words like they fucking mean something. God bless you. I don't know. I mean, what's important, right? What's important? I really don't believe much of the dialogue is that important, okay? Whatever everybody's saying all at once, it's, that's not the important part. The important part are our actual actions, okay? We speak and we talk and we chat and we fucking podcast. Mostly because we just want to fill the fucking space on our heads, all right? Claw at the void that the alien gods bored out of us. But it's, we talk to do stuff. We talk and we try and figure out what to do. And at the end of the day, only you can decide what to do, right? And maybe, the dialogue is the dialogue, but you're still out there making your own decisions. So what's the fucking point? Why would you lambast anybody? And, okay, fine. I mean, yeah, I'm asking people to be sophisticated, sure. But you're the listener. You're a consumer, all right? Move forward in your life, all right? Work harder. Yeah, what? People are too stupid to get the nuance of what I'm talking about? Well, yeah, fine. Fuck it. Bomb everybody. You're right, Israel. You're right, the elites. Humanity is too stupid to be alive. Yeah, kill me. I'm the one who's really dumb. All right, Alex Jones, coming at you. We're so excited for Alex. We're going to talk about Alex, and then we're going to wrap up the podcast. We're going late. I wrote a lot of this, and you can tell by my stumbling diction. But I'm so excited about this podcast. Really why I'm so excited is because I finally am spending the time writing I always should have spent. Yeah, like I've been doing stand-up for 12 years. I should have been writing like this the whole time. I did write a lot, but not like this. And, yeah, it's 10 years too late. Thank God. Okay, but right. Alex fucking Jones. Are you ready? Preacher Jones, break it down.
The best knowledge right now what's happening on the planet.
What's happening?
The elite are all about transcendence and living forever and the secrets of the universe, and they want to know all this. Some are good, some are bad, some are in a mix. But the good ones don't ever want to organize. The bad ones tend to want to organize because they lust after power. Powerful consciousnesses don't want to dominate other people. They want to empower them, so they don't tend to get together until things are really late in the game. Then they come together. Evil's always defeated because good is so much stronger. And we're on this planet, and Einstein's physics showed it, Max Planck's physics showed it, there's at least 12 dimensions. And now that's why all the top scientists and billionaires are coming out saying it's a false hologram. It is. Now, there's like this sub-transmission zone below the third dimension that's just turned over to the most horrible things is what it resonates to. And it's trying to get up into the third dimension that's just a basic level consciousness to launch into the next levels. And our species is already way up in the fifth, sixth dimension, consciously our best people. But there's this big war trying to like basically destroy humanity because humanity has free will and there's a decision to which level we want to go to. We have free will, so evil's allowed to come and contend, not just good.
3, 2, 1. Alex motherfucking Jones coming at you with it. Anything to debate with the breakdown? Really, you want to try and come at that? No. Bro, so true. So true. Undeniable. Tell me that's not what's happening. Tell me that's not what's happening right now. All right, look out in the world. Listen to Alex Jones. You tell me. Okay, yes. Good people need to organize. Good people out there, you need to organize. Where's your podcast? Get your podcast. We got to organize, okay? That's why Mark Maron is quitting his podcast. He's not a good person, all right? We need all the good people to get on podcasts so we can organize. Jon Stewart, he still has one. Nick Fuentes, oh my God. Me, Famous Dave, the Nelk Boys, Gavin Newsom, all the good people are organizing by starting podcasts, okay? Watch out, evil. Watch out, lower consciousness, all right? The far-right podcasters are going to organize, okay, with the narcissist podcasters, and we're going to give it to you. All right, Alex, Alex Jones, keep preaching, baby. Preach on.
And the elites themselves believe they're racing using human technology to try to take our believes that the first artificial intelligence will be a supercomputer based on the neuron activities of the hive mind of humanity, with billions of people wired into it with the Internet of Things. And so all of our thoughts go into it, and we're actually building a computer that has real neurons in real time that's also psychically connected to us, that are organic creatures, so that they will have current prediction powers, future prediction powers, a true crystal ball. But the big secret is, once you have a crystal ball and know the future, you can add stimuli beforehand and make decisions that control the future. And so then it's the end of consciousness and free will for individuals or TV.
Right.
But this is an interdimensional force that wants to influence us to build something that absorbs us and kills us, rather than the divine free will we're given to build something much better that empowers the species. So the species is now making a decision about its entire future.
Where are you getting this from?
That's what it is.
But where are you getting it from?
I know, from looking at all the data, researching it, studying it, watching the enemy. That's the big decision that humanity has now got before us. You get someplace finally in deep research where it's what every culture already said, what everybody already knew, what they're telling you in movies like Prometheus, what the elite admit the New York Times they believe in, everything there that isn't naturally occurring.
Who is that?
I mean, if you actually read what all the globalists say, they are getting not off-world, but interdimensional communications to then build this system that we see lowers our IQ, makes us live less. All the studies show screen time, all the computers lowering IQ.
Holy shit, the straight dope from the Jones, like an IV drip, baby. Giving the far right podcaster that good shit. Mama, daddy, sweet, sweet nectar in my veins. I feel hot. I feel cold. Every time Alex Jones talks, it's like Jesus is giving me a blowjob. Hell yeah, I'm jazzed. What the fuck was he talking about? What did that even mean? Holy shit. Right, just agree with it. You know it's right. You know it's right. Okay. I don't have to go over it. I don't have to tell you why it's right. But I just wanted you to hear that, because I think it's what I believe. Fuck. I think that's exactly what I believe. And he did it. Thanks for telling me, Alex. But right on. What am I trying to point out? You know, when it comes to like the specifics of what he's talking about, all right, the interdimensional battle, it's all, you know, I agree. It's all God Squad stuff at the end of the day, all right? Yes, I mean, sure, I believe in visible aliens and non-human technology. But it's not like I'm out there trying to communicate with them, all right? I'm not trying to talk to God. No one's talking to God. All right, if the aliens are interdimensional and it's all beings and whatever, okay, I'm not super into finding that out. I don't really need to find that out. Okay, like, yeah, maybe I'll talk to whatever like perceived imaginary being that might exist. Okay, I might talk to them a couple times. I might call out a few things, but I give up on it, all right? And we all know that you can try and talk to the higher consciousness or the lower consciousness, and it seems like they're busy, okay? They don't always reach you, you know. And I give up on it, really, you know. But I do believe in empowering others, all right? I already said that. He said that, right? Alex Jones talked about empowering others for a second. Jesus Christ. I mean, my podcast exists to, you know, expand your own lexicon, all right? You know, you're out there in the world and you happen to come across some character. You know, hopefully you've listened to me and it's not all too shocking, okay? I do this so people can ask themselves questions, you know, come up with their own answers, avoid schizophrenia, okay? Perhaps, you know, get the courage to beat up a homeless person. You know, feel yourself in the economy. That's what my program's about, okay? And I believe, you know, that's what we should be doing for others. But I'll be serious, okay? If there's some kind of interdimensional existence that I'm not particularly aware of, I mean, I will admit that I'm probably being manipulated, okay? If there was some dark end the alien interdimensional gods are using me to accomplish, I'm sure I'm a useful fucking idiot, okay? If I'm ever manipulated, I wouldn't even know. Ask my ex-girlfriends, okay? I'm a virgin, faggot, loser, total cuck. Just like Mark Maron. But at least what Alex is talking about, you can apply them to, human beings. Right? Yeah, we all, listen to our lower consciousness sometimes, and it does seem like the psychopaths and the sociopaths, end up getting a real edge in the world of money and what it actually means to be powerful. And, I'm not here to say that they're not talking to Moloch or, some fucking Egyptian god. I'm not trying to say that. I don't know them. All right. I'm not rich. All right. I got 120 viewers on my last podcast. I'm nobody. All right. But I think there is a sort of obvious paradigm that Alex is pointing out that maybe the Holocaust Museum would have an issue with. All right. We need Joe Rogan. We need him. We need him to fight the aliens. Literal combat. Right on. Okay, am I done? I'm thinking about it. Did I cover everything I needed to? Yeah. I mean, Alex Jones. I want to say he's right. Fundamentally. In like a analogy sort of way. At least. When the whole world's so unknowable. And, God forbid, we accept, how purposely secret the people in charge have been, even like in a legal sense. Maybe it was proper or whatever. It's a difficult time. It's a difficult time to be alive, and the Holocaust Museum is going to be mad at me any day now. Going to get a sponsored ad, and it just says, shut the fuck up. All right, we did it. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. New listeners, old listeners, oldest listener. You know who I'm talking to. Thank you very much. If you want to like the podcast, you're crazy. Why would you click that? Who wants you to click that? I do. Don't do what I want to do. I've ruined my life. Don't listen to anything I ever say. Truly. Commenting? What would you even say at this point? What would you even say? I feel like if you do put a comment on, you should just stop listening. Listen to the next episode, yes, but that episode, you're done. You commented, you're done. Feels fair. And subscribing, right. The thing, that'll actually give me money. That'll give me money. And you want to do that? Let me just say this one more time. This podcast is so financially unproductive for me. It's like I'm losing my mind. I could be making so much money at this moment right now. But I enjoy doing it. I feel like I'm spreading the message. I'm at least giving the AI Alex Jones overlords information to, be the crystal ball predicting future. All right. I got to start learning how to remote view. I feel like I'd be really good at that. If you have an impression of me from this podcast, do you think I would be good at remote viewing, talking to spirits, perhaps even dealing with aliens, interdimensional beings, the lower consciousness? What is he talking about? What the fuck is he talking about? God, the devil, heaven, hell? Alex believes in Jesus. I am beyond what's going on. I need to watch more InfoWars immediately. Turn it on. Turn off this podcast. Turn on InfoWars. Where's my producer? Hey, dog, do you want to come up here now? Come here. Come on. Come on. No. He won't get up unless I'm going to go walk him. Damn this dog. Come here. Damn him. He has a piece of glass right in his paw. He's licking it.